Welcome back to the News Just News weekly video roundup. Once again, I'm joined by Anna Ferraz. Hello, Anna.
Hello, hi everyone.
And Adam Peaker. Hi, Adam.
Hello, Happy New Year, Happy 2026, everyone.
Happy New Year, happy 2026. And you all need to say happy birthday to me as well.
Happy birthday, Simon.
Happy birthday,
Thank you. So on January the 1st, I turned 51, and that is really old. So I have to print how old I am on my clothing to remind myself how old I am. So I was established in 1975. That's how old I am. So happy New Year, happy birthday. Let's get it all out of the way. Happy 2026. We're going to get into it. It's exciting. We've got exciting news. We're going to kick off with some Miley Cyrus news. She's hot. She's always interesting. She's a huge name in the music industry. But Anna, she wants to get into the film industry, right? Tell me more.
Yeah, so obviously she started with film in Hannah Montana, but then obviously moved over to music with her iconic song Flowers. And now what she's trying to do is basically establish herself, making an intentional career strategy to move into film scoring and the film industry, not as an actor, but as a songwriter and a singer. So there's been news around that she's been going to events, specifically the Oscars, last year, 2025. That's crazy last year. She went around basically saying and networking. She wasn't nominated for anything, but she's obviously there and told directors, producers, listen, I'm here if you need me. If you need anything music related, I'm here. And it's kind of shown. She's been doing this networking at a lot of events. She did write the song Dream is One for Avatar Fire and Ash. I think that was in the ending credits. And that was at an event where she talked to James Cameron, basically saying the same thing. So this is a really interesting strategy we're seeing from a lot of artists. We've seen it, Billie Eilish, of course, Taylor Swift. Most of the Summer I Turned Pretty series was Taylor Swift music. But what I think is really interesting about this is that Miley she's starting to write music, and it's exciting. I'm loving seeing the shift in the industry. So yeah.
And I think this is going to happen more than ever, because we're seeing the industries are shaping and shifting, but we know that musicians in particular, they make their art, they put it out there, they stream it. We know that they don't particularly make a fat lot of money from the actual music. For them to make money, they have to go on tour. That's how they make that's how they generate their income. They, the likes of Take That, they go on these huge world tours. But this is interesting, Adam, because music is so important to films. It's the reason why you remember them, right? If you think Reservoir Dogs, you think all of the soundtrack that's been attached to that. Like, what's your take on this? Because I think she could smash this role, right? Kind of sitting between film and music.
Yeah, definitely. I think there's so much changing, like you said, about artists trying to find money. I mean, I know recently it was Charlie XCX who did, I think, the Wuthering Heights soundtrack. So I think there might be a weird intersection. You know how a lot of movies have these big names, stars as actors, and they put them on the poster and they really advertise with that. Maybe we might see this go into, who does the music, not just, these big composers, but instead it's these pop artists are doing it instead, and that might be a big draw for people to watch the film.
Well, this isn't the first time this path's been trodden. It's been well trodden before. There was a band back in my days when I was about your age called Pop Will Eat Itself. And the lead singer of that band went and left the band and went to Hollywood and became like a film score composer. So it's kind of like they're just going where the money is, right? The money is in Netflix, it's in movies, but music is so important. Like, I mean, oh my goodness, think about, we're going to talk about something here. We're going to talk about Wicked, Anna. We're going to think about Let It Go with Frozen. I know that's a musical, but all of a sudden that made a star. Well, tell me of who it made a star of. It's the lady that was in Wicked. You'll know her name. I'll know it when you tell me it. But who sang Let It Go?
Well, Let It Go was from Frozen. But but that was
Idina Menzel, though, wasn't she? But
yes,
she
and
was
she
famous for
played the original Alphabet in Wicked.
That's the
Um,
that's the
and
connection. Come on,
she has
keep up.
such an iconic voice. It's so amazing hearing it in Frozen and in Wicked. What's interesting as well is with a lot of stage plays and musicals, we're seeing so many actresses who played either Elsa in Frozen, the musical, or I'm blanking here, Wicked, the witch. All of them have been kind of shifting towards the same characters. There's an actress, a Broadway actress called Mary Kate, and she was just in Wicked. Now she's playing Elsa in Frozen, and I think it's because that voice is so important, and people are looking for that specific power.
Yeah, it's really interesting. I'm just finishing. We're not plugging things here. We talk about everything. We're not being paid to plug things. But I've just finished watching Bad Sisters season 2 on Apple, and in that is Bono's daughter, and she acts in it, and she's brilliant. And I've seen her in a couple of things, but she sings towards the end of it, and she can't hold a tune. It's really interesting. So I think if people have got those multiple skills like Miley Cyrus has. And Miley Cyrus is, like you say, she has acted before. She's got acting chops, and I've seen her in a Black Mirror episode. Maybe her voice, but yeah. she actually plays in the Black Mirror episode, which was insane. I don't know if either of you have seen that. It's a doll, and then she goes, and it's just so good. Adam, like this, where do you sit with Miley Cyrus? Are you a fan of her work?
I think I am. I wouldn't quite put on one of her songs, myself, but I think I am. I think she's very, even though she obviously was, a child actress and stuff, so people are growing up with her, but I think she is still very girl next door, and she is actually quite likable. She obviously went through that, I think, that phase where she was trying to get out of Disney, and it was quite sexual, and I think people were kind of turned off with that, but I think that was more of just a ploy to sort of just come out of that Miley Cyrus, not Miley Cyrus, that Hannah Montana facade that I think a lot of people put on her. But now I think she is well loved nowadays.
I've got a bit of a Miley Cyrus, like that Flowers song. I mean, it was brilliant, and no one really knows if it was about. It was very similar to the Bruno Mars story, right? The synergy between that and the Bruno Mars story. But that song was played constantly on holiday when I was in Turkey 2 years ago, literally constantly. So I find it quite triggering now. So please don't ever put Flowers on in my presence. Anyway, we move on. We're going to stay in the sort of like TV world, actually. We're going to stay and we're going to talk about Tangled, Anna. So you've been talking about this. You've been excited about this. There's some casting news that we want to discuss.
Yes, very recent casting news, actually. So we talked about this last time. It was the Disney live action of Tangled. And there were a lot of rumors around who's going to play Rapunzel, Mother Gothel. For Rapunzel, we originally thought McKenna Grace, Sadie Sink. But we've got our official cast list for Flynn Rider and Rapunzel. And it was, okay, not really what I expected, but I am very happy about it. So we've got Flynn Rider, who is Milo Manheim. You would probably know him from the Zombies movies by Disney. So he's a pretty familiar face in Zombies. And he's got the Flynn Rider energy, the natural charm, comedic timing. He's very lovable. That's kind of Milo's whole brand. But my favorite role is Rapunzel. It's Teagan Croft. She was in the series Titans, and she was also in True Spirit. And she's, obviously we know her, but to me, she's quite a fresh face, especially in Disney and this kind of genre. She's played very serious roles in the past. So this is going to be really interesting to see, because though her acting may be past like serious, her actual personality, she's got that Rapunzel, wide-eyed, curious look, and I am so excited. I was not expecting this at all. I don't think many people have heard her singing voice. I know I haven't seen her singing in any of her roles. So this adds a really great twist, and I'm glad it actually isn't a, reoccurring Hollywood face and someone new and fresh and exciting.
Brilliant. Well, you're going to be writing a story on that. That's going to be going on the website. We're obviously here doing YouTube, but we're old school as well. We've got a website. We do lots of news. We do lots of sport. We do lots of entertainment, serious news, all sorts, gaming, sport, the whole lot. You can go and really go and immerse yourself and get all loads of really interesting news written by interesting writers. That it's not AI. We're real people writing real things that we're interested in. And that leads us nicely on to Adam. There's some huge news about Universal Studios, Adam. Like really exciting news, proper game-changing news for the UK economy.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's kind of been rumbling for a while. Like people have heard of it and seen, there's been plans leaked and stuff. But now officially there is planning permission. So all that needs to happen now are the shovels need to go in the ground, basically. So Universal United Kingdom Resorts is coming to the UK. It's coming to Bedford, so it's like I think an hour outside of London, maybe. And this is set to be not only Universal's first park in Europe, but it will also be the largest theme park in Europe. And it completely smashes everything out of the water. I think it's going to be like 400 to 700 acres big. For comparison, Disneyland is only 130. So
Wow.
it is actually huge. Just how big. There's going to be 2 train stations. That's how big this is going to be.
And they're going to it's near to Luton Airport, right? So they're going to develop that because it's going to go big. This, right? It's going to be a huge attraction.
Yeah, I think Luton Airport was already being upgraded, but they're probably doing even more to it now, and the road's going to be done. I think something like £50 billion into the economy. It's going to be 20,000 jobs just in construction, and then 8,000 when it's finally built. Like, this is absolutely massive. So, I mean, it's no wonder they approved it.
And what I like about it is they're going to have the big ones that we know. They're going to have Lord of the Rings rides. They're going to have Jurassic Park, Minions, but they're going to have some UK themed stuff as well. It sounds like they're going to have a James Bond ride, Paddington, which is like, how exciting. What are they going to do with Paddington? That's super exciting, isn't it?
Yeah, they've said, well, we don't really know what is confirmed yet. They've just sort of floated a few ideas. There's been a few rumors, but the one thing they have said is there's going to be no Harry Potter, which I'm sure some people might not like, but then obviously it's the UK. There's so much Harry Potter stuff, like especially in London. Like if you need it, you can go there. And but I think it definitely is the chance to do, as you were saying, Paddington, all of these other very British themes and IPs that haven't been done anywhere else in the world. Because I went to Universal's last open park in Beijing, and they had a massive Harry Potter area. So I think they probably are wise to choose some unique stuff for the UK.
Well, there will be a strategic decision there because the Harry Potter studio, which I've been fortunate enough to visit twice, and it is insane, and it is Watford way, so it's incredible. Anna, we're a global brand, and Michael Davey, who works in our ecosystem as well, works on the News site. He came over from South Africa, where Anna is, to visit the UK, and he came to see me in Leeds, and then he went down to London, and he went to the Harry Potter studio tour. So I can see that because it is so established, and that will always they almost don't want to. That's a golden egg for them. It is just one of the most incredible experiences you could ever wish to go to. So that's really exciting news, and you've hit off all the numbers that I was going to get in there. Brilliant. 20,000 jobs for the construction side of things. 8,000 jobs. We need to know this. We need to come to the UK because the economy, and everyone's talking about AI, and everyone's talking about, are there going to be jobs for people? And there's this is just really, really good news. So I'm chuffed. We're going to sort of start wrapping up now, and we're going to talk about something to do with January, which is, I'm interested to know if it's something that you two are doing. I'm doing it. So we're going to talk about dry January. I lean into it. I enjoy December. I sort of have a good time, eat good food, see friends, drink way more than you should do. Probably drinking port at 10 o'clock in the morning is not good, and I don't advise that. I'm not saying that I did it, but if someone says it, I might not deny it. But Anna, your thoughts on dry January? Is it something you do, or are you quite a purist anyway?
Wouldn't say I'm a purist, but I do agree with the concept of it, especially because December is such a festive season. And obviously the health benefits of going off alcohol for a month, liver, cholesterol, the list goes on. So it definitely sounds pleasing to do so, but also quite difficult because we also, okay, I'm going to use Simon's birthday. Simon, I want to celebrate your birthday, even though I'm in South Africa. So yeah, especially here in South Africa as well. In Cape Town, January is still a very festive period. So I don't think many Cape Townians are participating in Dry January.
And the weather's good in Cape Town right now. It's like
fantastic.
It's searingly hot, where a nice cold Sauvignon Blanc. I can imagine it's a lot easier for us to do it over here, Adam. What are your thoughts on Dry January?
I think it's one of them. I'm always like, oh, should I do it? But then, to be fair, in the past couple of months, and this is just a global trend, people are just drinking less. I feel like I am drinking a lot less than I used to, especially since university. But with this going on and the pubs the way they are as well, I know literally today the government has announced that they're like not, the changes to the business rates, because obviously pubs are just closing all the time here. Like, there's obviously the personal benefits of, you're saving money, better health, but then when we think of pubs as like the pillar of a community and just such a third space to socialize in, if people are drinking less every other month as well, is this really really the best for them and best for like community and socializing?
I think we'll summarize by in general, I think it's good. I'm going to do it. I've not had a drink for 5 days. I think because of the feast that you have in December, there should be a famine and people go, I want to do what I want, but you drink more and you eat more than you would in December. So I think it is quite cathartic to go, come on, let's stop that. Let's get back it. Let's start the new year and try and, you set new resolutions. You want to get fit and everything. So everything in moderation. But I think there's huge benefits from mental, physical, to doing Dry January. So it's a big thumbs up for me if anyone else is doing it. Right, we're going to wrap things up there. Thank you very much for joining me. We should be back every week now, covering all sorts of topics. But remember to head to the website to see all the news and analysis of things that we've got. We've got a smorgasbord of topics and stories out there. Thank you very much for joining me, Adam.
Thank you for having me on, Simon.
And Anna, thank you very much. Go finish that Tangled story.
I will. I'm on it now. Cheers, guys.
Lovely. Great to see everyone. Bye.
Bye.